Well, welcome everybody to week 5 of our November online program for the alumni of the Sunshine Coast Health Center here in Powell River, BC. And this month we've been talking about time. And there's this very famous guy by the name of Jean Cocteau, I don't know if I pronounced that right, very famous film director and writer. Any rate, there, I just want to read you this quote, and it's kind of interesting. Oh, this guy was an opium addict, by the way. And this is what he said about opium. He said, "Everything one does in life, even love, occurs in an express train racing towards death." That's a happy thought, eh? In other words, we're just busy, and then we die. To smoke opium is to get out of the train while it is still moving. To live right now in the present. And that's what he's getting at, right? In this busyness of life, just plunging ahead towards the future, if I smoke opium, I get off the train, right? And I can just relax and settle down, live in the moment, according to Jean Cocteau. That's actually a good example of what we've been talking about this month, this idea of living, that the addict lives in the present. And in the present moment, and can't stand to wait, can't stand to peer ahead towards the future. Got to live in the moment, and the past is pretty much useless because it's serving no purpose to someone in active addiction. And then we come into recovery, but we still have these habits. Most people still interpret time as the present moment, which we know because this is why everybody shows up late for everything and misses appointments, and why all those addiction counselors pull their hair out trying to figure out and keep complaining that you guys have no structure in your lives, you're too chaotic, and so we got to impose the structure on you so you can get some sort of life. But what we've been talking about now is it may be that addicts in active addiction interpret time differently than most people. And in recovery, it might be very important for you to start paying attention particularly to the future. And not only to the future, but maybe to the past, because if you can understand the past, if you can see your life is flowing from the past to the present and the future, maybe this is part of the story of your life, right? And you can learn from the past and the mistakes you've made and then use that for your strength to live a better life in the present and go on to live an even better life in the future, right? So that it's more smooth, more flowing from past to present to future. But a key piece will be to live for the future. And this is very difficult for so many people in early recovery because it means they might have to, as the psychologists call it, delay gratification, right? I'm going to put in this energy now for some bigger reward in the future. Right? And that's going to take some risks. It's going to mean you're going to have to do some things that, for example, are uncomfortable. And to be able to live through this uncomfortability. Same thing when you get a craving, right? The old way, I got a craving, oh, okay, I got to use drugs because this craving is unacceptable and I just got to do something. Well, in recovery, of course, you would live through the craving because there is a purpose of doing this, right? This purpose isn't going to happen now, it's going to happen in the future, right? But you're willing to go through this right now, go through these cravings in order to achieve this greater goal in the future, which is to be drug-free. And that's a trick, right? And so a lot of this new researchers has been suggesting that one of the key pieces here is to understand how you interpret time. So in interpreting time in active addictions, present, interpreting time in recovery, you have to start looking towards the future. And this is going to take some practice, there's no question, right? Because I don't know a lot of people in active addiction who've got a lot of experience looking to the future, right? But like everything else in recovery, if you keep practicing that, then it gets easier and easier and easier. And then the wonderful thing about recovery is then you gain some successes, right? Whoa, I went through this really wicked craving. Fantastic, right? Hey, I can do it, right? And then to get these future things, we just got, even this morning, we got some calls from the alumni. Actually, the whole week has been amazing. We've got several emails and calls from alumni who are just thriving, and they've all changed the way they look at time. Like, it's quite remarkable. They're now looking, they're saying, yeah, I have all these great things happening now, and it's because I put in all this work. I actually went to meetings. I went to 3 meetings a week, or I went back to school and actually wrote the exams and did the studying, or I actually made the move. I gave up that job that I hated and I got another job that I love. I mean, all these things happen, right? If you can start looking towards the future. So one of the keys to recovery is living today, but keep an eye on the future, right? Because you need a goal, a mission to achieve. Anyway, that's it for November's online program, and we'll see you in December with a new set of videos.